works. Now, Tama, who are these workers that Elon Musk is letting go of at Twitter? Which offices is the mass sacking impacting?
The mass sacking is impacting almost across the board for Twitter, but especially the teams that deal with moderation, community safety, well-being, things like that. We know Musk is a free speech absolutist, and I think this is a real sign that he's letting Twitter be a lot rawer and removing a lot of the safeties that have meant a lot of communities have felt that they can be part of that platform.
Elon Musk moved to cut staff numbers, and importantly, the way he did it. That's what everyone's talking about.
Oh, absolutely. He sent a middle of the night email telling everyone that basically you will be told whether you're staying or going at a certain point in time. And since then, for the people that are staying, he's proved to be not the best boss in the world either. I think he's removed the capacity to work from home, for example, for a platform where most people were in fact working remotely. So there's lots of internal changes, lots of people being let go, lots of people that had been holding the company together for a number of years, which is a real worry about the future of the platform altogether.
What has been the response from within the company to the changes that he's made so far?
I think, to be honest, the changes have been so rapid that I think most people are scratching their heads as to what Twitter means today. I think that there is some suggestion that Twitter will become, for example, a subscriber-only platform where you actually have to pay to use it, which is fundamentally different to the sort of public square sort of mentality that the platform's had since its very beginning. So what Twitter is, I think, is up for grabs today, but I think Elon Musk is literally making it up day by day.
Well, for a start, he's also begun rolling out Twitter Blue. What is that? Why is it so controversial?
So Twitter Blue is or was a subscription service that allowed you to pay for Twitter and have certain additional features. It hadn't had a huge take up before Musk, and I think it both rolled out and then disappeared literally 6 hours later. So presumably it's coming back shortly. But at the same time, the idea that Twitter's going to make most of its money through a subscription base rather than advertising seems incredibly unlikely.
A US regulator says it's watching events at Twitter with deep concern. What is it most concerned about here?
I imagine they've got quite a long list, but I think probably the biggest suggestion is that in order to raise the money that Musk needed to buy Twitter, that actually he's made some backdoor deals where people that have lent him large sums of money may get access to private Twitter data. That includes a number of people who aren't inside the US, including, for example, the Saudi royal family. So I think, the idea that American data will be accessed by non-Americans is always one of their sort of trigger points to worry about. But the idea that Musk is selling essentially the private data of Twitter users, if indeed that's what he's doing, is of great concern and should indeed be investigated.
And all of this could hurt Twitter even more financially, with big brands pausing buying ads on the platform. It's really affecting Twitter negatively.
Absolutely, and I think for probably the first time in a really long time, en masse, we've seen most of the big advertisers say, we're not sure that this is the right place to be. And of course, if Musk can't raise the $1 billion in interest that he owes on Twitter year on year, then there is a real chance that it could head to bankruptcy, which would be a really tragic end for one of the most important platforms that the web has had.
Another platform, Facebook, Meta, its parent company, has been reducing its workforce as well, but handled somewhat differently to Twitter?
I guess in comparison to Musk, Zuckerberg looks like he's done a good job. He's laid off 11,000 people. He's at least given them severance and some notice, which is something Musk didn't manage. But at the same time, Zuckerberg has admitted that basically betting the entire company on a technology that didn't yet exist and still doesn't exist, there is no metaverse as such as yet, I think has proven to be a really bad thing to do. I think they've let go a number of the people that were leading the development of the so-called metaverse. And I think that's a really bad sign, because tech is all about confidence. It's all about the surety that the future that they talk about is coming. And I think on both platforms, we've seen an admission that they might not be the future and might not know what it looks like.
Tama, why are all of these mass layoffs by tech companies happening now? Anything to do with post-pandemic effects?
Oh, look, absolutely. We had sort of a golden era for tech where your social life, your work life, and everything else about your life was mediated through the big platforms. You couldn't go anywhere else, so that's where everything happened. And I think a lot of sort of the future projections and a lot of the technology imagined looks fantastic from within a lockdown where you can't leave your lounge room, but looks a lot less appealing when you can go out on the weekend. So I think that the real challenge is the pandemic's at least eased, and that the real world is back in a way that it didn't look possible for a long time. And in that space, neither Twitter nor Meta is really giving us the future that we want.
A lot of different challenges ahead. Professor Tama Leaver, great to talk. Thanks for your views.
Be my pleasure. Thanks, Yvonne.